For 35 years, Bill Altnow has been the chief photographer of the Mankato Free Press. This month, Bill retired. Well, sort of. At least from the day-to-day grind of capturing the images and the spirits of the personalities in the greater Mankato area. For 35 years, Bill has photographed the people, places, and things of our community. The disasters, the floods, the tornadoes, the Vietnam protests of the early 70s, and the rebuilding of our community in the 70s and the 80s. On January 8th, Bill had a retirement open house at the Holiday Inn. We'll go to the retirement open house and hear what his friends and colleagues had to say on the occasion of Bill's retirement, well, sort of retirement. And we'll go down to the office and talk to Bill, not so much about the past, but about the present and the future of photography in newspapers.
We really appreciate over the years getting to know you people, being involved with the various activities in the community, and we're just going to stay active in some way or another that's rightful. We want to thank you.
It's our pleasure, Bill. Our pleasure.
I suppose I better open this up, hadn't I?
I suppose you better.
It's the rightful thing to do.
You're right, Morgan. Well, a little practice, that's all right.
I'll take the garbage.
All right. Lady always appreciates the ribbon.
Bill, you'll have to face the camera.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll have to see what we got here. Oh, you know, this is something just what I need, too. A gold wristwatch. One couldn't ask for a nicer gift from the corporation. And I'm going to enjoy wearing it and having it on me. I'll always think of the Free Press people here. And it's great.
We thank you, Bill.
As I was trying to figure out what to say as a representative of the Free Press Company, I struggled with many words over many evenings, and then happened to receive a letter that I think most fittingly says the way we feel about Bill. And if I may read that to you, Bill, I will do that.
That's
Still
right.
somebody else's language.
That's okay.
Dear Mr. Altnow, I'm pleased to join with your family and friends and colleagues in congratulating you and on your retirement from the Free Press after 35 years as photographer. Throughout the history of America, our success as a nation has depended on the hard work of people like you. Loyalty and dedication to excellence have always been characteristic of our workforce, and I know that you will look back with pride on your years of commitment. Barbara joins me in sending you best wishes. Sincerely, George Bush. I think Morgan Brandruff has a presentation to make, Bill.
Okay. Well, okay, Morgan, I'll...
Right behind you.
All right. Well, Morgan. What more could a person ask for?
This shows you're number one in our hearts. From the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, thanks.
And a letter from the Vikings, too. Mr. Bill Altnow, master photographer, retired, Mankato Free Press. Dear Bill, from all of the Minnesota Vikings who have known and photographed through the year, we wish you an enjoyable retirement. May your retirement remain brilliantly lit and sharply in focus. May all the action be on your side of the field and you never run out of film. Please accept the remembrances from all of us. illustrative of our esteem in which you are held by every member of this organization, past and present. Signed, Merrill Swanson, Public Relations Director.
I know him too.
And also enclosed is a bill for what you ate at training camp in 20
He was only...
The publisher here, Pixie Allen. Evans.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Many good things about you.
I know all of you people that I read the free press.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, word by word she reads it to us.
I read it for 61 years.
Have you really? Bless your heart. And of course, you look particularly close at the pictures.
Yeah, she does look at.
I liked it before they had the
Serving as a representative of the State Patrol, there's a lot of troopers, both current and retired, who can't be here, but send their warmest regards in retirement. Sometimes the relationship between law enforcement and the media is kind of like cat and dog, but that's not at all the case with Bill. It isn't often the troopers say the kind of heartfelt things that I've heard them saying about Bill since I came here nearly 3 years ago. So I strongly say I'm a representative. I don't have the history of 35 years, which you have had with a lot of the troopers around here. They have a very special spot in their heart for you. One of the reasons I need to add is that we have this requirement about wearing your hat. And a lot of our people don't like these hats, but we buy them and we expect them to wear them. Well, Bill knows that, and so he would always tell these people, by the way, I'm about to take a picture, you may want to go get your hat on. So he bailed them out of answering the question, how come you didn't have your hat on in that accident scene that got photographed? But the feelings are very, very heartfelt, and as a token of our appreciation, I have a certificate to present on behalf of the State Patrol. Be it known that Bill Altnow is hereby awarded this certificate of appreciation for his long-term friendship, assistance, and dedication to the members of the Minnesota State Patrol. At the scene of an emergency, Bill was not just a reporter, photographer. He was like an extra partner. For unselfishly going the extra distance for us, we say, thank you, Bill. Signed by Colonel Anthony Kazet, Chief, Minnesota State Patrol. So again, thank you for all that you've done for us. Thank you very much.
We want to thank you too, We want to thank the captain here and the rest of the Highway Patrol because they're just fun people to be with, and we appreciate everything here. And we hope to see them all over the next years for many years.
I got one thing I want to say, Bill.
All right.
Because only, we were always happy to see Bill at the accidents, be in different functions that we had, because he always parked way down the road. We never had to worry about him moving anyway. But there was sometimes, accidents aren't always the easiest thing to find out on the road. Sometimes they're not exactly where the people say they are. So we'd always say, well, follow Bill. He always knows.
Yeah, I could smell him a mile away.
I'm here representing Independent School District 77 and the East and West Athletic Departments and our former athletic directors, Gordy Higgs, Don Miller, Ora Buchanan, and Sharon Early. On behalf of our coaches and athletes, we'd like to present Bill with this plaque. It says, East and West, thank you, Bill, in appreciation for years of service to coaches and athletes of East and West high schools, January 8th, 1993.
Well, thank you. I think most of you know Morgan and I went to school when there wasn't such a thing as an East and West high school. It was just old Mankato High School. And it's been fun over the years to come to games. It's just a hobby to drop in and shoot pictures. For instance, I can remember during district tournaments, I'd start out at one game and go over and cover another, and then cover another, and cover another. And before the evening was through, I had 4 games I was at. So it was kind of like a challenge doing that. And it was fun taking those trips, going up to the cities. Or I can remember a baseball game, though. I drove up there and had to drive all the way back because it was rained out. But I look at photography as just strictly a hobby. It isn't work, and I think that's the way all our occupations should be. It makes it a lot more interesting. And I think many of you other people do the same thing in that respect. And I just want to say simply thank you to the sports department for letting me in. And we gradually got more modern equipment through the years photographers had, so we could do a lot better as far as taking photographs. Thank you.
We couldn't let you know. We had to come and see you.
We appreciate that. I'm only 58, but I can still do it.
Thanks for everything.
Right. Well, we enjoyed coming out to your place too at the lake.
Yeah.
Right. We'll do that. Yeah.
Looks better
and if
now
I don't
than then.
remember, go to the corner bar. You said to find out. Yeah.
Other community highlights, usually the photographer, newspaper, or the photographer for a TV station, or, well, anyone in photojournalism, usually stands behind the camera and photographs the other celebrities in the community. Celebrities can be business people, politicians, like ex-mayors, can be retirees, famous people who come home to retire. In this case, Bill was regular too. Partly because she has been everywhere, has seen many, many things, knows many people, and is an active part of the community.
No, and we'll take a look here.
What's your favorite one on the AP there right now?
All right, let's.
Tell us the best story.
I don't know. Just looking here. Oh, let's see.
Got an inauguration picture.
All right, that's black and white there. Okay, press the mouse here, choose that one, then go down and view it. And all I do is put it on 1:1, and up it goes. And there we have working on the inauguration, a black and white picture.
Then what do you do to it?
Okay. Put it.
You can scale it and crop it?
Right. That's correct. Put it under edit. Then we'll look at cropping here.
What would that picture warrant in the paper? 3-4 column display?
Yeah, that'd be something like that. And then I'll throw in a number here. I'm just it's in inches, so I'm going to put in 8, and then I'll put it on set, and then I'll start cropping it a little bit. I want to tighten it up a little bit, take a little bit of the top off, maybe even come up. Okay, and then I'm going to say, well, it's okay. Then I'm going to call this up again, edit, and take a look down here. I'm gonna put it on tone.
You can change the tone.
Just a minute. Here you go. Right.
You can make it sharper, or
You can even do that. Now here comes up the tone.
okay.
Okay. I got it set on white.
So you can change the contrast and the brightness.
Right. I can change the contrast. As you see. Get darker here.
Looks like it's taken at night.
Yeah, right.
You can take the picture in the daytime and tell people you took it at night.
That's one of the things that there's been a lot of discussion on, because you can crop these pictures, which is all right. There's nothing wrong with that. You can put it through a normal tone, but you can also go into retouching.
Sure.
For instance, you can go and have a man with his normal 2 eyes and put a third eye in. You can remove telephone poles. You can sharpen areas, make the picture appear abnormal than it is, than it rightfully is.
And that's a problem,
And
because
that's
you don't want
something
to
journalists value is not morally rightful to do.
right, changing the
Changing the
location.
picture so it appears to be different.
But of course, we've all taken pictures where there's been something in the way, like a telephone pole or telephone
right,
wires,
yeah.
electric wires.
But the general policy there is not do it.
Right.
In other words, we want the picture what it's supposed to be, what it was.
Yeah. Well, this is a pretty easy subject of just
Yeah,
getting
right.
ready for the inaugural. So what do you do with it? So let's say that you've done scaling and cropping it and toning it. Then what do you do with it?
Okay, then we can push OK on it. And all you have to do then is push Alt and 10. It should be done. Then it should be going through into our output. We should have the picture coming over here on the laser photo printer. I got one here, it's good.
Okay.
First thing, we dust off the negative.
So you don't have any boulders on the picture.
We slip it in here. Close the door.
That's pretty fast.
Right. All right, then we want to adjust the tone of the picture.
What's the news story here in this picture?
Well, it was a feature picture taken at the park, one of the parks, and we used it getting the swing of the day.
Now, how'd you get the subject in that picture to look like she's having so much fun?
Well, we just had her swinging. We just enjoyed swinging. There.
And it helps to know what you're doing as a photographer. The computers can't make a bad photographer a good photographer.
Well, this picture actually can this computer can actually sharpen up pictures. Say a picture is 10% soft or something like that. It can actually sharpen them up. I've experimented around with that. So I'm going to say the tone is reasonable. Then we'll go crop it. And we'll put in, say, like 8 inches here. Crop a little bit here, a little bit here.
And add mommy in the picture.
There we go.
So now we got rid of everything that doesn't tell the story.
Pardon?
Now we got rid of everything that doesn't tell part of the story.
Right, yeah.
And distraction.
Yeah, you get my shadow out of there.
It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's one thing you have to be careful with.
Okay, now I've got the camera sideways, so we're looking at it like it would be in the paper.
Okay. Now, let's put it on final scan. Actually, I really enjoy the computer more than the chemistry. And here we are, made with an electronic darkroom. A couple kids in the swing of it.
When was that first picture?
January 2nd, 1957.
Started the new year off right.
Right.
Was it a snow picture or sports or?
Well, I remember taking a picture of all people going to Mass on New Year's Day. And I had an accident. And we had a New Year's baby. I just don't remember what other pictures we had that day. But I remember I went out and tried to find so many pictures for the paper. That was the objective for the... Each day you try to have a responsible number of pictures. And I vaguely remember those.
So between 56 and 93, sounds like those are still topics or subjects that we still see pictures of.
Right.
Do things really change in the long run over time?
I believe that your news changes. For instance, you still have accidents, but you have a lot less ones. There's a lot less accidents. People do things differently, so you photograph accordingly.
Did we have a New Year's baby this year?
I'll be honest with you, I don't remember.
What have been the big pictures?
Pardon?
What have been your big pictures? 56 to 93. What was the biggest picture?
Well, I think getting involved with Vietnam riots.
That was pretty hectic back then.
It was, right. I think of Kessel. I think of a man who, first couple weeks of my career, I went out to Valentine and the truck went into the lake and they turned off the lights and a pair of twins were out there and one fell in. The other twin just leaped towards him, laid on the ice and held him up. He didn't know how to swim. And then they formed a human chain for him. And they rescued him.
It's good to have accidents that come out with a happy ending.
Right. it's no fun to go out to an accident. I went out and watched a colleague die in front of me one time.
Oh, dear.
I didn't enjoy it. That was not enjoyable at all. I photographed the accident, helped them the way I could. But, you never know who you were going to be photographing when you went out to a scene, a spot news scene. And it's a lot more fun to take pictures when people are happy than when they have some tragedy, obviously.
But the news business, we have a little bit of both.
Right, we do.
What's a good happy picture?
Oh, I usually think of kids playing or somebody winning an award, or just enjoying a good meal after taking a couple bites. I think you think of changes, you think of Mankato. You think of all the changes they've been in Mankato from 1957. It's amazing.
What are the best changes?
And a lot of them were for the best interest, right?
What's your favorite change?
I would think seeing all the new buildings, seeing the new highways, seeing the new law enforcement facilities, seeing the medical changes, and seeing a larger number of people in the community has really made me happy, and probably a lot of other people. Or should we say a lot of other people happy too.
I hope so. What have been some of the changes in our community that maybe we didn't need, that you've seen, that you've photographed?
Well, I'd like to see downtown Mankato going good.
It is kind of empty, isn't it? Kind of quiet. I bet in the old days you could just stand out on the sidewalk and have history come to you.
I can remember when people would, sidewalks would be full when you'd walk down the street. It wasn't just 100 feet. It'd be a few blocks of people. They'd be just walking down the street, going from one building to another at the holiday time, or at Christmas time.
Do you like law enforcement because it's spot action, or because they're really doing some good work for us, for the community?
I think they think in terms of education. If we're educated properly, and we will, it'll eliminate a lot of crime.
You've had to shoot a lot of disaster pictures over time. It's been fires and floods and tornadoes. What do you remember about all of that?
I think of tornadoes. I remember in 1953 I went out to Eagle Lake. I was at Mankato State then, and I did a panoramic view of, I took 4 negatives, put them together, and the old publisher, Clifford Russell, he was proud of it, what I'd done. It had a real good picture. I can remember Waseca, another tornado. I walked in the hospital, there was blood in the corridor. I think of J.C. Penney Company when they were remodeling here for the mall, and the wall busted, and they had to rescue people, and then they had to figure out a way to get the building stabilize the building. I remember Hubbard Mill, or I think the time we had started our first Saturday morning paper, and the Wilson School next to Old Main got on fire after I went to bed maybe 15 minutes. And I stayed up purposely to see the operation. And then I had to get up and work about 4 hours. I think of a retired fireman then, Clarence Valiant. He just volunteered to take over Big Red. And other firefighters could fight the fire. I think of the Tracy tornado. I was at the Lions Club. My mother gave me a call. I just got in the car, drove up to Tracy, got my credentials, photographed it. I come back and it was maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and I processed and I talked to the wire service, and people said, just get one picture going. And then I put 2 more over, and those 3 pictures were used in the Minneapolis Star that day on their front page.
Did you spend a lot of time covering City Hall? The different mayors, all those different personalities, or are the people more important?
Oh, I enjoyed going to government meetings, whether it was photographing the people or whether it was photographing the government officials getting expressions that they had. As a photojournalist, I want to report photographically what's going on. I did it with the objective that the public could see it, our government officials would see it, they could evaluate what was rightful and take care of the situation.
Because government's about people.
Right.
And you got to take care of the citizens and the voters. And sometimes when they sit in their little conference room or council chambers, they lose a little touch. Did you do that just with government, or is that why you take a picture of a child in a swing enjoying the better parts of?
In that case, there are several reasons. It can be new playground equipment. It can be, in this case here, is the weather. It told what the weather was like for that day.
It's a nice day.
It was a nice day. And I hope we have many more.
After 35 years, Bill Altnow is retiring as the chief photographer of the Mankato Free Press. Well, sort of retiring. He has promised that his photographs will continue to appear in the paper, maybe not on a daily basis, but from time to time as the opportunity presents itself. Hopefully not too many natural disasters will happen in the coming months and years that Bill will have to photograph them for us. But at least we hope there will be some human interest opportunities. Bill isn't anywhere near retirement age. Even if you add in the over 2 years worth of vacation time that he has accumulated but not taken, it still doesn't add up to even 62.